Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I have decided that it is monthly favorites time. Since I did not manage to do a February monthly favorites, I'm actually just going to combine February and March together. I didn't end up doing February, one, because I just ran out of time, and two, because I actually didn't have a ton of new favorites for the month. I haven't really been going to the movies a whole lot or anything like that. So for TV, I actually have two favorites. The first is one that I was watching in February, which was The 3%. This was a Netflix original series that is set in post-apocalyptic future Brazil. And so that was a really fun experience for me. It is in Portuguese with English subtitles. There is an English dub, but please don't watch the English dub. Please just watch it in Portuguese with English subtitles. And the basic idea of it is that every year there is what is known as the process, which is where all the 20-year-olds living in the slums of wherever in Brazil this is supposed to be, go in and go through the process, and 3% of that population is then brought to the offshore, which is the area with, all of the technological advancements, and there's no poverty, and there's no hunger, and there's good medical facilities, and all that kind of stuff that they're missing when they're living in the slums. Now, if I'm saying that, and you're thinking that, wow, that sounds kind of like Hunger Games, I would say yes and no. I would avoid too many direct comparisons. For one thing, it is much less obviously murderous as the Hunger Games, because the beginning of the process, the first step is literally just an in-person interview. And so some people were making jokes about this Google interview just got way too real, which, I appreciated. But it has some really fascinating characters. It has some great actors that I'd never seen before because they're Brazilian. And it had people spanning a lot of different races, and I just thought it was a really interesting show, and it did a lot of really twisty, complicated things, and not everyone makes it out, but it made for really good TV. So the next TV favorite is one that I have been watching more recently, March and now going into April. It is The Borgias. This used to run on Showtime. It has 3 seasons, all on Netflix, and it's only about 10 episodes per season, so it's not a huge time commitment. And this show is just fantastic. It is so crazy in the best of ways. The Borgia family is one that was in late 1400s, early 1500s Rome. The head of the family became Pope Alexander VI, I believe. And they're one of those families that it's almost impossible to tell at this point what is actual history of the time and what is just insanely salacious rumor that was written about them because people didn't really like the family because they rose to power really, really quickly and then they fell from power really, really quickly. And so it's really actually kind of difficult to pick apart what actually happened versus what people liked to pretend happened. But so there's a big range of what you can get away with including in a show like this. So there's murder everywhere, there's incest, there's political corruption. I love it so much. It's just insane. And it just keeps escalating. I didn't know that was possible, but I'm midway through season 2 right now, and it just keeps escalating, and I love it. So moving on to movies, I really actually only have one because I have only seen one movie in theaters for the last 2 months. And this was the Lego Batman movie. It was absolutely hilarious. It is also, weirdly, I think the best Batman movie that's been made in maybe 10 years. I don't know how they did that, but they did. It seemed to actually understand what makes Batman great and also what makes him terrible in a way that I don't think the recent movies have really dug into in a way that was satisfactory. And also, it's just hilarious. I don't think it's in theaters anymore because I think I saw this one back in February, but when it comes out on digital release, you should definitely go check it out if you haven't already. So I didn't do this section last time, but I wanted to include a beauty section. So I have a few different things here. One of the things is I discovered a new brow product because I do my eyebrows literally every day. It's one of the only things that I'll do even if I'm doing a very minimal makeup or no makeup day. I usually still do my eyebrows because I have just really thin eyebrows, and so otherwise I basically have no expression. So the one that I have been using most recently, I used to use the Anastasia Brow Definer or Brow Wiz or whatever it was called, but that was so expensive and I would run through them really quickly and I was just I cannot keep spending $20-something on these. So instead, I discovered this drugstore version, which is the Maybelline Brow Define and Fill Duo, and I use the color brunette or dark brunette, whatever. And so basically it has a pencil on one end, and then you flip over to the other end and it comes with a powder in this little brush. And so you get both, and it's just really handy, and I have been using it basically every single day for the last couple months. And the other thing that I've been using a lot is I used a sample of this back in my book makeup tag video, but it is the Too Faced Hangover RX primer. This is coconut water based, and it says that it has probiotics or whatever. Anyway, it basically is a very lightly moisturizing primer. And so I find that it really sinks into my skin really well. It makes my skin feel really nice. The one thing about this is that it does not have sunscreen. And so what I have been using for that is actually this little Clarins sample that I'm probably going to get a full version of, which is the UV Plus Anti-Pollution with SPF 50. And I really like this one because it sinks into my skin really well, and I really don't like that sticky sunscreen feeling on my face. I really hate that. And this does not give me that. So these two mixed together are really great as base. So I have two more beauty favorites. The other is a mascara. I discovered a new drugstore mascara that I love. It's another Maybelline product. It is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Full Fan Effect, something like that, mascara. So it has a plastic brush, and what I really love about it is that it has a variety of bristle sizes. So it has really short on one end and then really long on the other. And so I just find that I can really get into my lashes, and it curls them, and it gives volume, and it gives length, and it just holds really well. And so yeah, this is my new favorite drugstore mascara, which is great because I would rather not spend Sephora prices on something that's only going to last me a couple months, because then it's going to dry out. So the last beauty favorite is actually a perfume. It is one from Nest. This is a new one called Indigo. I've used another one of theirs, which is called Midnight Fleur. I actually have it right here, and I love this one, but I've had this one for a while, and so I have just discovered this one, which is called Indigo. It is floral, as you might suspect by the name, but it's not sickly sweet, which is usually my problem with floral, is that it's just too overpoweringly sweet. And this one is a little bit more musky than that. And anyway, perfume is such a personal thing, but I find that the way that this sits on my skin just smells delicious and amazing. So while it does have a floral note to it, it is also more of a warm scent, and it has a little bit of spice to it. So, if that sounds like the kind of thing that you're into, go check it out. And so finally, for the miscellaneous category, I actually have some pens that I've been using, which I know sounds weird, but it is these pens by Papermate. They are the Inkjoy line, and then I have also been using these, which are the Flare. So the Inkjoy are like a ballpoint clicky kind of pen, and they come in a ton of colors, and the Flare ones are like a felt tip. And the reason that I love these is because I am taking classes again, and so I find that having multicolored pens is really useful for when I'm taking notes. I can do underline in red and write things in blue or green to sort of, distinguish between what's important and what isn't. And then also because I do use a bullet journal. Yes, I am one of those people. And so I just find that it makes my bullet journal pages look really nice. So this is an example of my weekly spread. And then I have a monthly, and then I do a monthly spread for I put 2 months together. So I have a calendar, and it just keeps things really organized, and I really like having the multiple colors because then I can sort it by type and by month and all of that kind of stuff, and I really like it. And so beyond all of the bright, lovely different colors that these come in, they also just write really well, and so I have been really into these lately. So that is actually going to be everything for my monthly favorites. I'm still probably kind of tweaking the format of these, so who knows what I'll come out with next time. But I will see you guys very soon with another video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!